Hello and welcome to another quick session of Business at the Byre. We're heading towards a bit of an emergency, and as you can see, I found my glasses. That isn't the emergency. About a month ago, more than a month ago, 5 weeks ago, Berkshire Hathaway had their AGM stockholders meeting, and the results of those speeches held and the interviews with Warren Buffett were that he is selling and has been selling for some time. Quickly, he sold all his airline stocks, he sold shipping, he sold the Goldman Sachs, most of that, he sold broadcasting, sold Amazon, General Motors, energy, Phillips Oil, for example. And one has to say that was back in May 2nd, right? But since then, the stock market has been going a bit nuts. Now, the Federal Bank, has been throwing somewhere around $800 billion at quantitative easing and borrowing, and it's throwing that money out there, and we have to talk about what's going on. The stock market, that money is pouring into the stock market, and this, I think, could possibly lead to a deflationary spiral. And I think that's an important point, because that's how the 1930s kicked off. You only have to look at some of the crazy valuations out there. One small tech stock, Avid Technologies, it has got liabilities of 450 million. It's got assets of 310, so it's a minus 140 million equity company. And in the past 20 days, that share went from $5 to $8, which is a bit nuts. Let's be honest about that. That is a market cap of $340 million for a company that, if push comes to shove, is worth minus 140. We've also got negative interest rates creeping in here and there. And on top of that, all the central banks, the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, the Fed, they're all buying their long-term gilts back in, because of course they have to be honoured sometime, and bring them back in-house, then you don't have to pay them. So we're facing now a possible stock market crash, and also at the same time the C-19 crisis is causing difficulties for every SME, every small to medium enterprise out there. Very important that we are prepared for that. If you are an SME, then you have to look out at the overall situation politically, which is important. I want you to think about the political situation. There is no leadership in the world anywhere. That is the reality. In America, or since 2016, as it has become to be known, Retardistan is being captained by Captain Bonkers. And here in Britain, we've got Billy Bunter at the back of the school bus, facing the rear, looking for the steering wheel. I don't know, how do you drive this thing? It must be the way I can't find this. How does this thing work? When there are no levers, anything. It seems to be going in the wrong direction. And of course, then, if we look at Germany, I mean, Mutti is ill, Mutti is krank, and Triple K turned out to be a bit of a bust. There is no opposition. In America, in Britain, in Germany, there is just no opposition. There is no opposition anywhere. You look at every country out there, no opposition to worth a bucket of warm spit. If you look at Japan, is in so much debt that it's unreal. That is the reality. It is the country with the most debt in the world if you take debt as a proportionate to GDP. It is ridiculous. And China, well, the halcyon days of 8% per annum growth are over. It's turning into a sort of strange controlled dictatorship, and it's becoming aggressive. And we all know Napoleon said, when China awakens, the world will tremble. Well, the world is trembling, but China may now implode. We don't know what will happen because we're not buying their goods anymore, or not in the volumes that is going to keep them stable. And of course, at the same time, Russia is being bankrupted by Putin. Nobody really understands why. Nobody really cares that much. It's not a big economy, but it is a big country and a big military power. So you have to watch out for that one. Another source of instability. So where does this leave you as a business person? What are you going to do? Well, the thing to do now, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, is flight to equity. Make sure you are ready for the coming crisis. It could be a big one. I'm an economist, and I always tell people I can predict anything. I mean, absolutely anything. Except, of course, the future. Nobody can predict the future. That's an unknown country. Only a fool tries. But bad times are just around the corner, as Noel Coward said. So I hope you keep tight, keep your powder dry. That's very important. Keep your powder dry. If you've got assets, you've got money, you've got liquid funds, we don't know what's coming down the road. But with the present world leadership, or rather I should say the lack of it, and the lack of anybody calling world leadership to account, I think we have to wrap up warm, hunker down, and just ride it out. And when the storm passes, then it's time to start using those liquid assets, if you've got any left, and start to regroup, regrow. Right now is not the time to invest. And if you're in the stock market, I suggest you really think long and hard about maybe that is a bubble that is about to go